What if I told you that the most mysterious number isn't 7, 3, or even 13, but 0? Yes, that's right. The number that has been hidden, banned, erased from history, yet it has become the key to science, technology, and inner freedom. Stay with us until the end of this video. You will not only understand why 0 remained forbidden for so long, but you will also discover a powerful symbol of transformation that changes thinking forever. Thank you to everyone who watches my videos, who likes, comments, and shares the episodes. Thanks to you, this channel is growing, and the themes of ancient wisdom, philosophy, and the power of numbers are coming to life again. Subscribe right now. You won't miss anything important. And if this video receives 100 likes, I will tell you in the next episode about the number that ancient philosophers called the gateway to fate. Now, get ready, because the number associated with emptiness actually holds infinite power. Today, you will understand why it became such a dangerous symbol and such a powerful tool. 0, emptiness, dust, abyss. In many cultures, this number has been perceived not as a beginning, but as a threat. After all, 0 signifies absence, and for a person seeking meaning and control, the idea of complete emptiness is terrifying. It's like peering into an abyss where there is neither beginning nor end. 0 questions everything, values, power, even existence. That is why it was feared in antiquity. Imagine, for thousands of years, mathematics developed without 0. Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, all had numbers, but there was no digit that meant nothing. How can one build an empire on emptiness? Meanwhile, in ancient India, thinkers understood 0 is not emptiness, but potential. Like the silence between notes, it creates rhythm. Like a pause in conversation, it carries meaning. And so in the 5th century CE, Indian philosophers introduced the 0 sign, a circle representing not absence, but possibility. This was a revolution. Thanks to 0 complex calculations, the banking system and modern science merged. The number that was feared became the foundation of our world. But why was this number still hidden? In medieval Europe, it was banned. The Catholic Church considered 0 a symbol of the devil. After all, if God is everything, then 0 is nothing. Thus, it stands against divine order. 0 didn't just scare people, it shattered familiar frameworks of thought. That's why the numbered 0 was not taken seriously for a long time. Merchants, scientists, even philosophers were afraid to use it. For acknowledging 0 means admitting that nothing can be something. That emptiness can also be power. And such a thought changes everything. But the Stoics, those wise men of reason and inner strength, viewed 0 differently. For them, emptiness was not an enemy, but a teacher. Epictetus said, "You do not control the outside world, but you control how you react to it." 0 is a symbol of the external world, empty, indifferent, yet capable of awakening strength within us. Stoicism teaches us, in loss, there is beginning. In emptiness, there is possibility. Imagine you have lost everything. You were fired, abandoned, betrayed. At that moment, 0 stands before you, an empty field, and only you decide what will grow on it. That's why many Stoics compared 0 to fate. It is empty until you start writing your story on it. 0 is also connected to the idea of inner silence. Imagine a noisy market, shouts, bargaining, hustle. Now imagine an empty temple where only the wind is heard. In this temple, a person can hear themselves. Similarly, in life, when all the excess disappears, we are left alone with ourselves. Zero is the pause in which truth is born. In a digital world where every like, subscription, and number matters, zero can be frightening. It seems to say, you are nobody, you do not exist. But this is a deception. Zero is not the end, but a beginning. After all, only from zero can something new be built. That's why entrepreneurs who face failure often start from zero. And it is this zero that makes them stronger. Look at examples. Howard Schultz was born into a poor family. He had zero opportunities. But he became the head of Starbucks. Oprah Winfrey experienced poverty and violence. Her starting point was zero. Elon Musk lost almost everything after selling PayPal, investing in Tesla and SpaceX. He had zero guarantees. But it was this that gave him audacity. All these stories prove one thing. Zero is not a failure, it is a test. It is the moment when the world asks, are you ready to start over? And if you answer yes, then you have a chance to create something great. So when you see zero, do not be afraid. It is your blank page. Even in philosophy, zero signifies not the absence of meaning, but its search. Buddha began his path by renouncing everything. Socrates said, I know that I know nothing. This is the acknowledgement of zero. Only those who understand their emptiness can be filled. This is the path of the strong. In Stoicism, there is an exercise that perfectly reflects the power of zero. It is called anticipating misfortunes. Imagine the worst-case scenario: losing your home, money, reputation, health, and ask yourself, what will remain? The answer is you, your mind, your will. This is your support. This is the strength born in emptiness. Therefore, zero is not a curse, it is a gift of freedom. When you have nothing, you have nothing to lose. Thus, you are free to choose who to be. Many creators, thinkers, and sages began from this state. That's why zero unites geniuses. Even in architecture and art, zero has inspired the domes of temples, mandalas, wheels of life. All these are symbols of the circle. Infinity, zero. Zero is the form in which peace and movement are embedded simultaneously. It is the ideal that many philosophical systems strive for. We fear emptiness because it reminds us of our finitude. But Stoics taught, it is the acceptance of death that makes us free. Zero is the symbol of the end that gives birth to a beginning. When you stop fearing the end, you begin to truly live. Thus, zero transforms into light. And now a question for you. What do you see in zero? Emptiness or power? A threat or an opportunity? Are you afraid of it or ready to start over? The answer is important because sooner or later, a moment of zero arrives in everyone's life, and only you decide what it will become. If you've read to this point, you are not afraid of zero. You are ready to grow, change, and start anew. Support this channel with a like, comment, and subscription. This will help us create even more inspiring videos.